something called classify. Okay. And when we get to that, you'll use word cards again. Have you been studying your words?
Yes.
Great, good job. Because the more you look at them, the more you practice reading them and looking at them and thinking about why this one is apple and why that one is apples, the faster you'll learn to read them and spell them whenever you want to. Okay. All right, let's look. Well, usually I start on that side, so let's start here. And everybody first just work on reading it silently. Look at it carefully. Read it to yourself, and then follow the lines and check it. And this word is aloud.
Grass.
Nice job. Now let's spell grass together.
G-R-A-S-S.
Spells.
Grass.
Who notices something special about the word grass? Raise your hand. Aubrey?
It got 2 S's.
It has 2 S's. And where are those S's, Austin? At the end. And do you know what? Every time you spell grass, what do you think it's going to have?
2 S's.
Whitney.
2 S's.
Is Whitney right?
Yes.
And where will they be?
At the end.
That's right. That's a big clue for grass. All right, everyone read this one silently. Follow the lines to make sure you read it correctly. And this word is aloud.
Ears.
Okay, let's spell ears.
E-A-R-S.
Spells.
Ears.
Okay. All right, let's read this one silently first. Think about how you're going to know it next time you see it. Check your reading, and aloud, this is okay, that does not have an F. It doesn't matter where we are in the United States. When we write button, it will not have an F. It has to begin with the letter
B.
Okay, and fence must begin with the letter
L.
Good thinking. All right, silently.
Hash.
Don't let any sounds escape. So silently, check your reading, and then aloud.
L.
Okay. Oh, okay. The camera people say when you read aloud, not quite as loud. We want to be able to hear it, but not in like a shouting voice. Okay, let's practice it. Read apples in a good voice.
Apple.
A little bit louder.
Apples.
Is that right?
That's good.
Okay. All right, who notices something special about apples? Nicole.
It has 2 P's.
Okay, it has 2 P's side by side. Are they near the beginning or near the end, Cola?
Near the end. The twin consonants.
Taretha, are they near the beginning or near the end?
They are near the beginning.
Very good. They're near the beginning of the word apples. Okay? All right, let's all read this one first silently. Check your reading. Now aloud.
Tree.
Nice job. Let's spell tree.
T-R-E-E.
Okay. Everyone look around at the words on the picture word chart where you shook them all out. See if you can see another tree. When you see another tree, raise your hand. Joshua, come up and put your hand on another word that spells tree. That's the picture of a tree. Can you put your hand on the word tree? Can you find the word? That's another picture of a tree. Do you see the word tree? That's good. That's one word tree. Thank you, Joshua. Who sees another word tree? Austin? Everybody look carefully. See if Austin can find the word tree. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. What is that word, Austin? Can you spell it for us? What do you notice, Justin Perkins, about the word tree?
It has two E's at the end.
That's right. And every time you spell the word tree, when you mean one tree, it will have two words at the end.
Twin consonants.
No, they're not twin consonants. What are they? Does anyone know?
Vowels.
Vowels. Okay, we have two vowels, E-E, in the word tree. Now, we've talked about this tree, and Austin pointed out a tree. Who sees another Nakia? Everyone look to see if she can find the word tree again. That's the word tree. There's one more. Does someone see a different one? Justin Perkins? Is that correct? Right. How many word trees did we find? Teresa? How many have we found so far? 4? 4, that's right. 4 so far. And there's another one Justin was pointing out. We have one where we have two words together. It's not by itself, but this phrase together stands for this, and it's what?
Apple tree.
So we have the kind of tree. Thank you, Justin. Okay, now what we're going to do with the rest is I want you to practice your silent. We'll do silent, and then we'll read them aloud. So we'll pick up our pace a little bit. Read this word silently. And aloud it is okay. And this phrase, check your reading, it is
Apple tree.
a little bit louder.
Apple tree.
Okay. All right, everyone read this one silently. Then this is aloud. Silently. Loud.
Train.
Silently. Aloud.
Train.
Silently. Let's spell bear together.
B-E-A-R.
Spelled
Bear.
okay. Silently. Check your reading, and it is silently. And this is silently.
Apple.
Silently. Think about how you're going to know it next time. This is okay. This one silently. Check your reading and put your hands on this part of your body, or as close as you can get to that part of your body. What part of your body, Austin? Okay. All right. Good reading. Now we're going to work on an activity we call classifying. And one of the things we're going to have you work on today is classifying your words. And classifying is when you put things together because they're alike in some way. All right, now I'm going to call two people up, and I want you to just look at them for a minute, and then I'm going to ask you to tell me why you think I put those two people in our group. All right, Justin, would you come up here? And Daniel, would you come up here? Okay. Now, would you guys stand close together? All right. Now, why do you think out of all of you, out of the whole class, I put these two together in a group? Do you have any idea what my reasons were? Why did I select those two? Who has an idea? All right, let me add one more. All right, listen and think. This is hard. Do you have an idea, Teresa? Why?
I could put two of them out of the circle and to go up there and stand for a little while, look at the words, and then they come back to cross.
Nicole?
They're alike because they have on they're both wearing shorts.
You're right, they're both wearing shorts. I didn't even think about that at first. I put them together for another reason, but you're right, they're both wearing shorts. Whitney?
Because they're both boys.
Do you know what? I did put them together because they're both boys. All right, let's check that out. I'm going to add one more person to the group, and you tell me if that's the reason for my category. Robbie. All right, Robbie belongs in our group, and Robbie is a
Boy.
And Whitney said that I put this group together because they were boys. And she was right. Everybody. Okay. Now, out of all these possibilities that we have here, and this is my little set, out of all this box, I selected these three for my group because they're alike in some ways. I want you to see how many ways you can think that they're alike. Sit down here and watch Whitney's view. All right, Daniel, can you tell us one way and everyone listen?
Because they're the same color.
Because they're the same color. And what color is that, Daniel?
Yellow.
Yellow. That's one reason. That is one reason I put these together. Can you think of another one, Bree?
Because two as big as Wednesday.
All right. Now, Bree, you told us some ways they were different. Think about how are they alike. We've got one thing. Daniel said they were all yellow, and you agreed. Nicole.
Because they're all triangles.
Is that right? Raise your hand if you think they're all triangles. Nice job. They're all yellow. They're all triangles. Does anyone have another reason? Joshua. All right, let me ask you a question. Would this one belong to our set?
No!
Why not, Ashley?
Because it's really yellow.
Would you say that louder so the camera can hear it?
Because that one's yellow, that one's red, and the other one, and that one's yellow.
Okay, that's right. It does not belong in our group. Let's try this one. Will this one go into our group?
Yes.
Will it go into our group? Whitney, say yes or no.
No.
Okay, tell us why not into our set. All right, how about this one? Does it belong?
No.
Okay, why not, Justin?
Because it's a square.
That's right. Even though it's yellow, it only has one attribute. It is yellow, but it's not yellow and a triangle. Okay, nice thinking. Now let's move.
Justin from Johnny.
Okay.
Justin Frost.
Now, think. Why do you think out of all of the group with names like Richard or Rhonda, with names that start with R? All right, check this one. If you think it belongs in our group, raise your hand. All right, Nakia, why does it belong in our group?
Because it's all of them that are genuine. It's still
Okay, this one over here does not belong in our set, as you said, because it doesn't have an R. Nice thinking, guys. Now, can you sit back a little bit? Thank you, Joshua. All right, all eyes on the board. This is going to be a little hard because you have to look at all the words. Does someone see two words that go together for some reason? Two words that are alike? Daniel, would you come up and show us those two words? Button and basket. Basket. Okay, button. Okay, all right, let me put, I don't know if I got every one of them, but let me put these up. Study the words. Thank you, Daniel. And if you'll come right over here. We'll line these up. Can you read this one for us?
basket.
Is that right? And this one, first let Daniel, this is
Button.
and then Daniel, this one is,
Basket.
and Daniel, this one is
Bear.
fair. Now, Daniel, if you'll move over here so everybody can see those, move back beside me so Colin and Whitney can see. Now, if you know why, if you think you know why, Daniel put these into a group, why and how they're alike, raise your hand. Agree.
Because they start with a D.
Is that correct, Daniel? Okay, did you have another reason? All right, thank you. Good thinking. All right, everyone look at the picture word chart again. Does someone see other words that go together in some way because of how they're spelled? All right, Justin, come up and show us those words. All right. Okay. All right, let's see if I can find those and put them in the pocket chart. Here's one of them.
Grass.
Okay.
Grass.
All right. And Justin, this one is?
Grass. Grass.
Everyone, read those words carefully, study them. Who knows why Joshua put those together?
Justin Frost.
Justin Frost, you're right. Teresa, why?
Because they both start with a G.
They both start with a G. What else? Robbie. Do you have another, can you think of something else? You can think of something else. Teresa?
Because they're both alike too.
How are they alike? Talk to us about that.
They both got two G's
Each of them has a G. What else?
and each other has two R's, and each other has two A's, and each other has.
Morning. This is our 4th day's lesson with the picture word inductive model. And you're such good learners, and I know you've been studying your words. I'm going to show you some cards this morning, and when you think you can read the word on that card, raise your hand. Nicole.
Basket.
Show me a thumbs up sign if you think this word is basket. All right, Teresa, why? Why do you think it's basket?
Because it has a T on it.
Because there's a T on the end. Basket. Any other reason why it's basket? Mary?
Because you can look up there and look at the.
Okay, you could look up here and you could check it. and make sure. And let's see if they're spelled alike. Let's spell it. Basket. Spells.
Basket.
Nice job. All right, I'm going to show you another one. Now, let me ask you this. Down if it is not silent reading. Okay, I'm going to read this word and you tell me. Thumbs up if I read it silently. Thumbs down if I'm not. Basket. That's right. I didn't read it silently. I let some of the word escape. I mean, you could hear it, couldn't you? Okay, so remember when you're reading silently, don't let anything escape. Because remember what I said? If you read it aloud or shout it out, then everybody else stops thinking about it. Okay. All right, let's try this one. When you think you can read it, raise your hand. Austin. Is that correct, Joshua?
Yes.
How do you know it's sky, Amber? Okay, sky is blue. How do you know this word is sky? Justin Perkins.
Yes.
And what else? What else, Daniel?
It has a lot.
Yes, and a lot. All right, good reading. Okay. All right, if you can read this one, raise your hand. Okay. All right, Whitney.
Tree.
Is that correct, Cola? What is this? Read it for us.
Tree.
Can you spell tree for us, Johnny?
T-R-E-E.
Is that correct? Justin Frost? Good, nice job. Okay, now we're going to switch and we're going to work again on our classifying. And this is what you can come up with.
Bear. Bear. Tree. Dinosaur. Flamingo. Turkey. Flamingo bird.
It's a pelican. Wooden carving of a pelican. A lot of times we see pelicans at the
Beach.
at the beach. Okay, let's see.
Elephant.
Okay.
We saw that at the
Carving
zoo.
of an elephant. Okay. Now, out of all of those things, what's alike about them? I've made a set of what? Raise your hand if you have an idea. Mary?
Okay, the chicken and the bear and the dinosaur, they are all made of fuzz, and the elephant and the bird is made out of carbon.
That is good thinking, Mary. I want you to think. Did Mary tell us how they were alike or how they were different or some of both?
Both.
She did. She told us some ways they were alike, some ways they were different.
And somewhere there was both.
That's right. Who can tell us what's alike about all of these? Nicole.
The dinosaur speak, bear speak. The chicken speak.
What are all of these, Teresa? They're all representations of what? classifications of animals. Good thinking. That's the reason I put all of these. I didn't put any of the wooden blocks. I didn't put the record player. I didn't put the cups. I put only things that represent animals. Now, I'm going to make a different set out of this. I'm going to take these two guys away, the one of stone and the wooden pelican. And I'm going to put this guy out. Now, what's our set?
Cool stuff.
These are all what kind of animals now? Raise your hand if you have an idea. Whitney.
Stuffed animals.
We have a set. Not only are they animals, they are stuffed animals. Okay? Would this belong to our set? If it's stuffed animals?
No. It's so cute.
Why not, Nicole?
Because it's not stuffed.
That's right. It's
It's
not
really
stuffed.
heavy.
It's made of glass. All right?
Oh, that's
Would this belong to our set?
Yay!
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Why, Taretha?
Because it's a bird and it's stuffed.
Because it's stuffed. It's a stuffed animal. So we've got a set of stuffed animals. I'm going to make one more set out of these and see how quickly you can identify. Okay. All right. I'm going to take this one away. And I'm going to take this one away. And if you know what kind of set we have now, Johnny,
Bears.
they're bears, and what kind of bears?
Stuffed.
Stuffed bears. Okay, we have a set of bears and
Well,
they're stuffed bears.
A big one?
Okay.
The size?
Would this one go in our set?
No. Teddy bear.
It is a teddy bear, but
It's pretty though.
that's right, Nicole. Little doesn't matter. Look, we've got all size bears.
That was little.
Yes, you're sorting. Sorting and classifying are very much alike. Okay, good thinking, guys. Now we're going to switch to classifying words. Mary, is that correct, Whitney? All right, what is this word, everybody?
Yesterday.
All right, let's read all four of them, please, aloud.
Wednesday, today, Tuesday, yesterday.
Good reading. Now, I'm going to put one more up and raise your hand if you can read that one. Nicole,
Day.
is that correct, Abri?
Yes. Look.
Is that correct, Johnny? How do you know?
Because that's the same word as the...
Come up and show us. All right. Do you see it somewhere else? Okay. All right. Thank you. Now, you've read all of these. I want you to see if you can figure out, in terms of how they're spelled, why I put them together. Why did I put these words together? Who knows? In terms of how they're spelled. Nakia?
Because we have two teeth and we have
That's right, good thinking. We have two T's, but they're all part of one set right now. Why, Abri?
because at the end though they all got days.
At the end, they all have day. That's right. Every one of them has D-A-Y, 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 and that spells?
Day.
Okay. Now, look carefully. Would this word belong to our set?
No.
Why not, Taretha?
Because it doesn't have day on it yet.
That's right. It doesn't have day on the end.
So
All right.
that's somewhere else.
How about this word? Does it belong?
Saturday.
Amber, does it belong? Why? Could you say that louder so the camera can hear you?
It says D-A-Y.
Because it has D-A-Y.
D-A-Y.
Okay, now I'm going to make one more set. See if you can figure out why. I'm going to make a new set. Now, if you were going to tell someone about that set, Justin, what would you say? Daniel?
They all have S's.
You were right. They all have S's. That wasn't what was in my mind, though, when I put that set together, but that's good thinking. Ashley?
Because they're part of the days of the week.
They're all parts of the days of the week. And what's different about those in this word right here? This word is not part of this set. What's different about this word in terms of how you spell it, Whitney?
Because it's not part of the days of the week.
Right, it's not one of the names of the days of the week. Justin.
I gotta use a button.
Nakia. Mary.
Because it says today, and the rest of them says Wednesday, Tuesday, and Sunday.
Okay, these actually give us the name of the week, and this one doesn't. What do you notice about how they're spelled? About how they're spelled, Justin Perkins? What do you notice about how they're spelled? Stephanie? Who notices something about how they're spelled? Nicole?
They spell like
What's special? Look at that first letter of each word. What's different, Austin?
Stephanie has to use the bathroom.
I know. Just a second. Who notices? Mary?
Something special while they all got.
Daniel?
Because they all had different letters at the front.
They all have what do you notice about these three letters?
Because it's WTS.
Amber, what about this WTS? How is it different from this T? Teresa?
Because it doesn't have a capital T and it doesn't have a U.
All right, did everyone hear that? All right, would you say it again, Teresa?
Because it doesn't have a U and it doesn't have a U.
Okay, this one doesn't have a capital T. When we're talking about the days of the week by name, what do we begin them with? The first letter is always what?
The capital.
That'd be a capital. Good thinking. Find some words that are alike. I see a few categories. Teresa, tell me why you put those two together. Very good. Good thinking. Teresa has a category.
I need a button.
Put these two together. Because why? Yeah, here. All right, put it right there, and I'll bring you the word card.
Why?
Stephen? Sibyl? Good thinking. Remember that category. All right? Whitney, can you tell me about this category?
Doing 3, 3, 3, These two are
What do you see?
I got it.
All right, and tell me
I'm
this one.
looking for, you better stop. Both of them have.
You're right.
You better start working.
Yes.
I don't know what to do. Would you like me?
Here. I want to drop down.
Together. Okay.
Great.
Yeah.